Hello and welcome to Volt Vehicles. This is an opinion piece about cargo bikes, these kind of box-style bikes. I live in Sweden, city of Malmö. It's actually a city that is very popular with bikes, and I've noticed that cargo bikes have been an ever-expanding form of transport here. I wanted to discuss, is a cargo bike actually worth it? Because I thought that they were pretty cool when I first saw them. I think they look like very practical ways to move around a lot of cargo, hence their name cargo bike. My issue with them is that they're often exceptionally expensive for what kind of stats you get on these bikes. I think it's a little bit too overpriced, and I think they're sort of capitalizing on the market that there are people who want to use these, and sort of it's becoming a popular thing, and then more people are just hopping on the bandwagon because they see a lot more people using this out and about. But in actuality, for what you get, I think it is a pretty bad deal. But I do see them having use cases, and I don't think that they're like stupid to buy. Initially, I think they seem very practical, but on second thought, I think maybe not. Okay, so here in Sweden, there's a very popular brand called Cargo Bike. This is the one that I see almost everyone going around with. And this bike, in my opinion, is pretty expensive for what you get. This is Swedish kronas, 38,000. That goes for about, you'd say, $4,500. It is a pretty expensive investment. You get pretty good components. You get a very good Bafang mid motor. You get a decently sized battery of 500 watt hours. But you also have to remember what you're paying here. You're paying a pretty expensive price. This, I would say, is still a pretty decent cargo bike, but we'll go and look at other ones, and there are other ones that still go for very expensive prices. So here's a bit more budget-friendly electric bike. This goes for 18,000 Swedish krona, which is about $2,000, and it's all right. It's got a 250 watt motor, which is very standard for being in Sweden. It's only got 6 gears, and it's got a tiny 360 watt hour battery, so 10 times 36, extremely small battery. You're not going to get around at all very far with this, because this is a very heavy bike. Like, this is a big box you've got here. You're not at all aerodynamic. You've got 3 wheels. You can have a lot of rolling resistance here. It's going to be using that electricity not as efficient as a typical bike, plus combined with a small battery, it's not particularly going to be so good, I would say. This is still not crazily expensive, but I think for what you're getting, it's maybe not the best. Because say you want to haul cargo, people who want to do these kind of, use these as a transport means to haul their groceries, for example, I think that what you could do instead would be a very smart idea, is to go for, say, a very robust, good electric bike, but then use a trailer. Here's me in an Engway Engine Pro. This is a very robust, powerful bike, and I have got a trailer here. And this trailer is now pretty small, but I may as well could have had a very big trailer. And the great thing about this is that I can detach this trailer whenever I want and just go in the bike, and I can attach it and just go around and bomb on the street. So I feel like if you want to haul items, you've got a bit more flexibility with going for a trailer rather than a cargo bike. The uses I do see of cargo bikes, however, are for families and people who want to have their kids, because I think that having your kids here in the front is actually feels a lot safer than it otherwise would be having them in behind here. You could have a kids trailer and have your kids here, but the problem here is that you don't know if the kids are going to go a little crazy. They could just jump out of it, or they maybe somehow found a way to unbuckle their belts. Sometimes kids can be a little bit naughty. So I would feel a lot more comfortable having my kids in a cargo bike over this kind of setup, because you're going to be able to keep an eye on them. If you see what's going on, you can always stop. They're right in front of you. So in the case of hauling kids, sounds a bit funny when you say hauling kids, but when you're hauling kids, I'd much prefer to have one of these. That is pretty much the only case I would like to have one of these. But the issue I have, though, with hauling children in these is that at that point, you maybe would want to just have a car, because some of these are so expensive that they are the same price as a standard car. Like, look at some of these top tier ones. Oof, they're pretty properly expensive here. Now, this is over $6,000. 500 watt hour battery. Now, good having a Bosch motor is really good, but I mean, it is pretty properly expensive, and you're not particularly going to go fast. It's not like in America where you would go high speeds. Here is 25 kilometers an hour, 15.5 miles an hour. So I think you'll gain a lot from going with a car if you're just going to haul kids. You can see this one isn't even made to haul kids. Don't get me wrong, this is a good bike, but for the price, I think that it's a bit impractical. I'd rather just have a car for this price. I think that also the construction of them is a little bit, in my opinion, a bit gimmicky as well, because I think that, like, to me, it's a regular bike. Okay, it's a regular bike, but what they've done is they just stuck a box here, and it's slightly more advanced. You know, they've got a tricycle style, so they're going to have the steering system be a bit more different. But to me, it just feels like this is just like a bike with a box on it. Why not just go with a trailer? So I think that going for transporting your kids is going to be a good idea to go with this. Otherwise, I would strongly recommend a trailer because it's so smooth going with a bike trailer. When I was using this is a really a smooth ride because this trailer has flexibility here in the fork. It's got like in the attachment, so you can actually turn pretty well with this. It's very flexible, and then you can also, you can obviously get a bigger trailer. You're not locked to a certain type of trailer like a cargo bike is. You're able to have like a really properly big one if you want to have that. And this is just a smaller one I got from IKEA. It costs about $200. So it can also be used. This, what's really great about this trailer as well is that what you can do is this. You see this hook here. This can be with just a few clips here made to be a trolley, so you can actually make it to go like this. You see, so you just pull it around. So what you can do is, if you're going to go to the shopping center, you can just bring this with you inside and just put everything in there. Then you've already got it. You just drive home by attaching it to your bike. So I think these are really practical to haul a lot of stuff. This is my go-to way of hauling groceries with my bike because it feels you have such a large capacity, much more than having something attached to a rear rack. And plus, you can put this in the shop with you. So then, when you're going to go and mount your stuff to your rear rack, you don't have any of that time. That time wasted is not there. It's not completely just straight away just attach it and go. So really, transporting items, non-human goods, in a trailer is my favorite way of using my bike as a quote-unquote cargo bike. And I can still use it as a normal bike if I just detach the trailer and that's it. But I would probably just do this in a very robust bike. I wouldn't use a flimsy bike doing this because I'd prefer to have a little bit thicker tires, some mountain bike tires, so you can have a bit of proper grip and traction. But it should be alright in a regular bike as well. This is made for any kind of bike, to be honest. That's my opinions on cargo bikes. Feel free to disagree. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. But in my opinion, a little bit of a gimmick. They're a little bit too expensive for what you get. I think they have a niche use case in transporting your kids because it can be very safe being able to see them properly. But I do think that they also could be replaced with a car pretty easily from what you get because you're much quicker in a car and you can also a bit more flexible with a car because you don't have to think about like bad weather or anything. Just put people in the car, but strap them in, that's it. I think that for hauling goods, hauling like items, groceries, it's not at all good to go with something like this. Go with a trailer, much better in my opinion, because you can just swap out the trailer and have a normal bike, and then when you need to haul stuff, use it and haul the items with your hand in the supermarket. I think it's really practical to use a trailer in those kind of situations. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.